What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cypher Sessions. I'm Enrique.
I'm Yo.
I am Manolo, the Abundant Alchemist.
So today we have a special guest that I met at the Bitcoin conference when I was in Miami, entrepreneur Joe, and he sets up Bitcoin ATMs just to increase mass adoption. And so we're going to bring him on. He's going to talk a little bit about his business. So without further ado, here we go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Joe? My name is Entrepreneur Joe, and yeah, I'm an international Bitcoin ATM distributor. So I set up Bitcoin ATMs in gas stations, convenience stores. I'd put them in garages if I could, but I can only put them in so many places, right?
Welcome.
International. Welcome. So how long have you been in crypto, Joe?
Yeah, man, since 2017. And I thought like I was such a newbie in 2017. And I was, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, 2017. Now I feel like one of the old school gangsters because now it's been like 5 years, which is nuts. Time just flies, you know.
Awesome. And what was like the first spark of interest that caused you to dig into it?
Yeah, believe it or not, it was my Uber driver. Like it was crazy. Like he was just driving Uber. I think he was new in town, just making some cash flow, and we had a long drive. And he was telling me about Bitcoin. It sounded super weird, and I was like, "What is digital money? What does that mean?" And we got along together, and we hung out the next day. And he told me to go to this marina in Gulfport, Florida. And I showed up there, and I was looking around for him. And he came over in this like little dinghy and took me to his 20-foot yacht. And we were just hanging out all day, drinking and talking about Bitcoin. So it made more sense after more exposure with that guy for sure.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So this was the guy that got you into the Bitcoin ATM setup?
No, he's the one that got me into Bitcoin in the first place. He mentioned Bitcoin, digital money, and then I was like, whoa, what is that? And then, he ironed it all out for me. As far as the Bitcoin ATM setup, I've been in sales for a while, and I've been trying to get really into the crypto space. And I got a funny story how I really got into Bitcoin ATMs, but I reached out to a guy on LinkedIn and got in. He thought the way I got a hold of him was cool, and that's part of the story, how I got a hold of him. And then he introduced me to his boss, and he was like, dude, this guy's hungry. I don't know how he got a hold of me, but he did. And he's like, you should give him a shot. And now I'm sitting at like 150 Bitcoin ATMs plus in like 9-10 months. So,
wow, beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And so, all right, you got into crypto and started digging into it. You were like, all right, this there's something to this. That was around 2017.
Yep.
So you were in the sales. How long did it take you to say, let me give this ATM thing a shot? What year was that?
Yeah, so that was actually 2021. That was just last year. So
okay.
it's April of 2021. I knew I wanted to get into some kind of capacity in the blockchain technology sphere. And I'm a smart guy, don't get me wrong, but I'm not smart enough to do like the dev apps stuff. I don't know how to program an app or a blockchain. So I was like, let me just sell it or sell something. And that's how I got into the space. And I've been loving it ever since.
Very cool. Would you say that now with inflation and everything, like, has it been, I assume it's been a pretty actually, let me not assume. Have you hit any roadblocks as you've been going to stores, locations to set up? Like, what's your main pushback?
Yeah, for sure. So it's great timing for me to get in because if it was a year earlier, man, sales would have been much harder. 2021, people were already kind of talking about Bitcoin. Mass adoption was kind of happening in a way. But a lot of the times I get rejected because they didn't know what a Bitcoin ATM was. I'd call the store, and you can stop by the stores, but like I work on a rooftop and I just call people all day long and I enjoy the view and I don't have to go anywhere. It's great. Another reason I really like the job. And the main rejection was people not understanding what Bitcoin ATMs were, and I had to walk them through. And then eventually, it started spreading across the country in 2021 where Bitcoin ATMs were getting set up, and then everybody kind of wanted one. And now I get some referrals and stuff like that, which is great. And I paid like $150 per referral. So if anybody knows a gas station convenience store owner that wants one and can reach out to me, then I'm happy to send them Venmo, Cash App, Bitcoin, whatever they want.
Awesome. So yeah, like how does that work? Say for instance, we have a gasoline station owner or a liquor store owner. I don't know if licenses, what's prohibited, what's not. But if somebody's interested, what would they do? How does the process look?
So Yeah, if they're interested, they need to talk to someone like me, right? So I'm a distributor and I represent actually 3 different companies, which really helps it out because a lot of times Bitcoin ATMs can only be miles apart for like one company. They won't put them everywhere, so they have to be 2 miles apart from each other. That way they're not stealing business from one location. But if they're interested, my handle is Entrepreneur Joe. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as Entrepreneur Joe. I'll pull up my profile, and it's as simple as give me the address, and I'll check it out with a couple different companies and see which one lands and see how much one company can pay them to put it in their store. It's only 2 by 2 square feet, and they put it in a corner, and it brings more customers and more income, and it's an easy sale for me.
Nice. So, I mean, we're super bullish here on this channel, and obviously this is why we do what we do. But you know, with regulations and you know, talks of the Biden administration, you know, we don't know what they're gonna do. Is that any worry for you guys in the business at the moment?
Say that one more time for me. I'm sorry.
So, like with
breaking up a little bit.
Got it. So with like regulations, right?
Yeah.
Right now there being a bit of uncertainty. You know, I think a lot of institutions are kind of on a fence, waiting for more clarity. Is there, would you say, with your ear to the streets as you're, you know, working your day to day, making these phone calls, and with other people that you may know in the industry, is there any like fear of what may come as far as regulations, or like how are you guys approaching that possible threat?
Sure. So there's always FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt, no matter if it's just investing in Bitcoin or selling Bitcoin ATM. So I think the U.S. government's done a great job as far as legalizing and legitimizing everything. They do a lot of work with state and federal levels, FinCEN, and making sure that all the regulations are met. So if anything, the U.S. is pushing mass adoption versus China is just trying to make sure their citizens can't even get a hold of it, right? So I think as far as what the U.S. is concerned, there's over, I think, 20,000 Bitcoin ATMs out there. And if you've never seen one, all you got to do is open up Google Maps and type in Bitcoin, hit enter, and it'll show you all the Bitcoin ATMs near you. And it always surprises people because there's a lot more than people realize that's out there.
Right.
Joe, if someone wants to get started in this type of business or a company, do you have to physically own the currency? Like, how does that part work?
Yeah, that's an awesome question, honestly, because no, they don't have to own the machine. They don't have to own the currency. They don't have to do the regulation. The company pays them a monthly advertising fee to put it in their store, and that's it. We handle all the transaction fees, the back end fees, and what have you, and then send you a check every month, depending on what kind of plan that you pick. You make money either way, and you don't have to deal with anything. You just give the 2 by 2 square feet of space in your store, and just collect the checks. That's it.
And are you seeing more people are selling their Bitcoin on these machines or buying Bitcoin on this machine? And do you need an ID to use one of these machines?
Another good question. I'll answer in reverse order because the second thing was important. So yeah, there's definitely, you have to show your ID. So there's KYC, know your customer regulations that everybody has to follow. So you can't anonymously buy Bitcoin from a machine like it's MetaMask. You can't do that, right? So it's not decentralized as far as a DEX is concerned. But you have to show your ID. And then there's a lot more buying than there is selling. And these Bitcoin ATMs used to allow you to do both. Now, primarily, they're just letting you buy. And why is that? Because after a couple of years, like 95% of the people that were using these machines were just buying Bitcoin. They weren't selling it at any point. So they decided to take that feature away. So if people wanted to sell their cryptocurrency, I mean, nowadays there's so much mainstream adoption that you can send it to PayPal. You can send it to Cash App. You can send it to Venmo. You can send it to a couple different places and then send it to your bank account that way. So yeah, that's the way to do it.
Nice.
So is there any particular wallet that you would need in order to purchase from your ATMs?
No, you can use any wallet for sure. But the companies that I'm working with, they've all developed their individual wallet, right? And this allows them to build their brand. You know, Bitcoin Depot is one of the companies I represent. They're one of the biggest. They are the biggest Bitcoin ATM company out there, and they have an app where you can download a Bitcoin Depot wallet, and you can just scan a QR code and you can keep it there. I always suggest people to make sure they have 2FA and a password protector like Dashlane, I don't know any of my passwords besides one, and that's to get into that dash lane. And it's a great way to protect yourself from using the same password over and over again with like a little bit of difference, you know? We're all guilty of that.
So what would you say that is the future of Bitcoin ATMs? Do you see any kind of development or any improvements that we could expect?
Yeah. So improvements and developments. So improvements and developments on that side, I think they would probably lower the exchange fees, lower the fees that it costs you at an ATM. They vary from anywhere from 10 to 19%. So it can be kind of high. But if you don't have a bank account that'll allow you to buy crypto, you don't know how to buy crypto, you're primarily cash-based or you're unbanked, Bitcoin ATMs are definitely the way to go. And since we're on a Bitcoin podcast here, you know that, 15 to 20%, that used to be a lot, right? And it still kind of is, but at the same time, when you buy at the right time and it goes up, then that small percentage of 300% or 1,000% is not much at all, right? But as far as adoption is concerned, I'm hoping that this will be going global. America is the country of entrepreneurs, right? So it's starting here, it's spreading. We're in Canada, Alaska, a lot of the US, and eventually I'm going to be taking on another company to represent in Latin America, because that's the next phase of where Bitcoin ATMs will definitely be growing.
Awesome.
Oh, wow, dude, that's super dope. And so can I just ask you, in terms of Latin America, where are you targeting first?
So I'm not hired with this company yet. So
Okay.
I'm trying to be. I met him at a Bitcoin, the same conference we were at. I met this guy that ran a really good company, and I've heard all about him. And I was able to get his contact information, and now I'm just following up like a salesman. I'm like, hey, can we connect sometime? Every like couple of weeks, I'm just like, picking him an email because I know he's busy running his own company. So as far as where in Latin America, I'm not very sure, but I don't see why it wouldn't be Brazil and Argentina, all over the place. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I love it, because I think some of these Latin American countries maybe don't even have particular exchanges where they can buy quote unquote cryptocurrency. So if you're able to set up these Bitcoin ATMs, right, in Latam, let's just call it, you can actually engage people if they're able to set up some type of wallet outside of the exchange, and you can potentially engage those customers. Yeah, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part about helping the unbanked, because a lot of these countries are primarily cash based. So if the US dollar ever got knocked off its pedestal as far as being the global reserve currency, it's going to have a lot of different effects on countries worldwide, and a lot of things are paid to the dollar. So the dollar goes down, a lot of other currencies will go down too, and it's going to create like a cascade effect. So it's good to be able to provide them ways to save money in a safe haven like Bitcoin via their cash.
Love it. One quick question. So if I deposit cash into a Bitcoin ATM, and let's say I'm going somewhere where they accept Bitcoin as currency, how quick is that conversion? So let's just say that I deposit $100 of cash into Bitcoin. How quickly can I use that Bitcoin in a store that accepts it, let's say?
Yeah, that'll hit your account so for Bitcoin, I would assume it'll hit your account in like 1 to 3 minutes. It doesn't take very long. And then as far as being able to use it, let's say you're sending it to BitPay, if you have a BitPay wallet and you have it connected to a debit card, you can use it like right away, right? As far as sending it from whatever wallet you use, you can use it very quickly.
Cool. Now, I know that you're focused on Bitcoin. Have you, on the grapevine, heard anything about any other coins that possibly will get into this ATM concept as well? Or
yeah, that's a good question. No, not really. So
okay.
One company I represent has like 26 different options. The other one has 3. The other one has 5. So it kind of depends. It's up to the company what they want to do. I know a lot of companies. Well, I don't want to talk bad about coins, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm just on I'm just the face selling it. I'm not on the back end. They handle all that stuff, and I just make sure that the owners know about it and get signed up for a great deal.
Cool.
Dope. Nice. I think it's a solid concept. Manolo, do you have any follow-ups or?
Just keep up the great work. This is all helping adoption, especially retail,
absolutely,
en masse. So This is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Love it.
Entrepreneur Joe, plug yourself in. Let people know where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you. If someone's interested in setting up a Bitcoin ATM, how can they go about it? Because I'm pretty sure that people are hungry for this, right?
Yeah, I have one last question. So, say I am a store owner and I'm like, okay, inflation is, killing my business, and I want to get some income. How soon can I get this thing running if I call you?
Yeah, so that's a good question too, because there's supply chain issues all over the world right now, and in the U.S. as well. So it's not forever, but it's going to typically take 7 to 8 weeks for us to make and manufacture that machine.
Okay.
Sometimes it's quicker, but typically it takes 7 to 8 weeks. So you have plenty of room to clear the space and let people know it's coming. The more you advertise for the machine, the more customers you'll bring. But that's kind of the wait time that we're looking at right now.
Awesome. So call them now, guys, before this bull run starts to take off. We're going to get into some bullish stories coming up. So
great question.
You got the man right there.
Yeah, man.
Well, plug yourself in. Let people know where they could find you, your contact information.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, sure. So Entrepreneur Joe, you can find me on everything with that. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I got business pages for all those. So you can find me that way. Even entrepreneurjoe.co is the website that I host for setting up Bitcoin ATMs. Like, I consider myself a Bitcoin ATM consultant since I work with multiple companies. So I'll make sure that somebody gets a company that wants to put it there, whether it's through me or someone that I know. I'll do everything I can. And then even my email is entrepreneurjoe@pm.me. That's my business email. I'm happy to get addresses and take a look and see what I can do for anyone that contacts me.
Sounds fantastic, brother. We appreciate you taking the time to come on to the Cypher Session show.
Yeah. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you for joining us.
So,
yeah.
All right. So, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. But I believe we're going to be coming up with some more content. If you haven't already liked, shared, and subscribed this video, we have some more goodies coming for you. So stay tuned for that.
Peace.
Appreciate you, Joe.
No
Cypher
problem.
out.